Heaven did not stumble into your path by accident. Your scrolling didn't pause by coincidence. You were interrupted because the throne room just released an alert in the spirit realm concerning your life. And if you knew what was written in that alert, your knees would hit the ground in awe, because God is not merely whispering to you right now. He is sounding an alarm that your destiny has reached its spiritual due date, and something in the unseen realm has shifted with such force that staying the same has become spiritually impossible. And what I'm about to reveal is so shocking, so confronting, so awakening, that your spirit will recognize it before your mind fully understands it. You have been living beneath what heaven authorized, carrying weight heaven never assigned, fighting battles heaven already declared victory over. And the reason every part of your life has felt tight, delayed, confusing, unfair, and spiritually heavy is not because you were forgotten. It's because God has been preparing you for a transition so violent in its power, so accelerated in its timing, so supernatural in its unfolding, that if you had entered it earlier, it would have crushed you. And if you entered it without refinement, it would have exposed you. But now listen carefully. Not next month, not next year. Now your spirit has hit the threshold where heaven says, "Enough, activate them." And chosen one, this activation isn't gentle, it isn't soft, it isn't inspirational fluff. It is a prophetic awakening ordained by the Most High. And by the time we reach the end, you will understand why everything that happened to you had to happen exactly the way it did. Why people walked away. Why certain doors slammed so hard it shook your self-worth. Why your prayers echoed back in silence. Why your heart carried wounds that no one saw. Why you felt like the least valued, the least supported, the least chosen. And yet heaven kept its eyes on you the entire time. Now listen, because what comes next exposes the part of your story you've never understood. Every struggle wasn't proof that God abandoned you. It was proof that God was shaping the one thing Satan feared most in your life, your authority. And authority cannot be microwaved. It must be formed under pressure, carved in silence, proofed in seasons where nobody sees your effort, your tears, or your faith. This is where deep psychology enters the prophetic realm, because the enemy didn't attack your circumstances first. He attacked your mind. He whispered distraction into your focus, discouragement into your self-image, exhaustion into your calling, comparison into your vision, and fear into your future. Because he knows something humans forget, that the mind is the battlefield where heaven's strategy and hell's resistance collide. And hell recognized your potential long before you did. That's why you fought battles others never had to fight. Why your childhood carried storms others never walked through. Why betrayal visited your life earlier than most. Why you faced spiritual resistance even before you knew God deeply. Because Satan saw the kind of threat you would become once you awakened. You weren't being attacked because you were weak. You were being attacked because you were strong. Let me show you. People with no destiny do not attract warfare. People with no purpose do not attract pressure. People with no anointing do not attract sabotage. 1 Peter 5:8 makes it plain the enemy prowls, searching for someone he can devour, but he doesn't prowl around the directionless, the spiritually asleep, or the ordinary. He prowls around the ones carrying something he cannot stop. And chosen one, that is you. But here's the twist heaven wants you to understand. The enemy wasn't after your job, your finances, your relationships, or your opportunities. He was after your identity. Because if he could convince you that you were insignificant, unworthy, forgotten, inferior, or behind, then he could sabotage the destiny that needed your confidence, your obedience, your faith, your boldness, and your inner stability to manifest. Every attack on your mind was a surgical strike against your calling. But heaven let you walk through that fire for a reason deeper than what your emotions could comprehend. Refinement. See, there are two kinds of delays: man-made delays and God-ordained delays. And chosen one, you've been living in a God-ordained delay. Not a punishment, not a rejection. A divine delay designed to fortify you. That season of silence that drove you crazy. Training. That season of stagnation that made you question your worth. Training. That season where nothing worked no matter how hard you tried. Training. Because what heaven is about to release into your life requires someone who can't be manipulated by flattery, broken by pressure, seduced by shortcuts, or weakened by opinions. God didn't want you talented. He wanted you unbreakable. Joseph wasn't promoted because he dreamed. He was promoted because he endured. David wasn't chosen because he was bold. He was chosen because he was faithful in obscurity. Moses wasn't called because he spoke well. He was called because he survived the wilderness. And you, yes, you have survived things that spiritually should have killed you, emotionally should have shattered you, mentally should have destroyed you, and spiritually should have silenced you. But you didn't break, you didn't fold, you didn't lose your faith. Even when your faith felt thin, it never died. Heaven counts endurance as evidence. James 1:12 confirms it. Those who persevere under trial receive a crown. Notice it doesn't say those who are perfect. It says those who endure. You endured. You endured abandonment. You endured lack. You endured confusion. You endured spiritual attacks that had your soul screaming at night. You endured loss that should have turned your heart cold. You endured seasons where God trained you by removing every human support system so you would learn to depend only on Him. And what you didn't realize was that heaven was documenting every moment, every tear, every prayer, every silent act of obedience, every moment you resisted temptation, every time you chose integrity over convenience, every time you forgave instead of retaliated, every time you got up on days you wanted to disappear. None of it vanished. None of it was ignored. Heaven collected it as evidence that you are ready for the release. And chosen one, that release is now entering your timeline. But before I reveal the breakthrough moment, I need to explain something that will heal a wound you've been carrying for years. The people who left you were removed by God, not stolen by the enemy. You prayed for alignment, so God removed misalignment. You prayed for growth, so God removed stagnation. You prayed for peace, so God removed chaos. You prayed for discernment, so God removed those who masked their intentions. You prayed for purpose, so God removed distractions. And because you are loyal by nature, their departure felt like loss, but in heaven's eyes, it was protection. If God didn't remove certain people, their influence would have contaminated your anointing. Their mindset would have limited your elevation. Their presence would have blocked your preparation. You weren't being abandoned, you were being refined. Now here comes the transition point, the moment in the script where heaven wants to flip your perspective from confusion to clarity. You have outgrown your old season, and nothing feels more painful than spiritual expansion inside environments too small for who you're becoming. That's why your spirit has been irritated, restless, unmotivated, detached, sensitive, and unsettled. That's not depression, it's transformation. That's not failure, it's shedding. That's not confusion, it's calling. Isaiah 43:19 says, "Behold, I am doing a new thing. Now it springs forth. Do you not perceive it?" meaning the shift begins internally long before it manifests externally. Your spirit knows you're transitioning before your mind catches up. And chosen one, you have crossed that unseen threshold where the old version of you no longer fits. This is your spiritual adolescence. Your soul is outgrowing everything familiar. Now the breakthrough moment. Pay attention. The reason everything intensified recently, the warfare, the pressure, the tests, the loss of energy, the disruptions, is because the enemy knows what heaven is about to release into your hands. What is coming is not incremental. It is not subtle. It is not just enough. It is destiny level. It is life-defining. It is identity-shaping. It is generational. And hell always attacks right before promotion. The Israelites reached the brink of the Red Sea before deliverance. Daniel faced the lions before elevation. Jesus faced the wilderness before his ministry. You have been facing your Red Sea, your lions, your wilderness, not because God abandoned you, but because God is about to place you where the attacks can no longer follow. Heaven says, the suffering season is closing. The waiting season is expiring. The wilderness season is ending. The gate of destiny is opening. Revelation 3:8 declares that when God opens a door, no one can shut it. And chosen one, heaven is opening a door for you that your enemies can't sabotage, your past can't block, fear can't delay, and doubt can't weaken. The door is not coming, it is forming. The blessing is not approaching, it is aligning. The shift is not promised, it is active. But now comes the part that separates those who watch breakthrough from those who walk into breakthrough. Readiness. You must understand, God doesn't bless laziness, indecision, or spiritual slumber. God blesses those who are positioned. And chosen one, you are being positioned right now. This is why heaven is telling you clearly. Fix your focus, clean your atmosphere, clear your distractions, align your habits, sharpen your faith, elevate your standards, forgive who needs forgiving, release who needs releasing, and prepare for what you prayed for. Because the blessing coming into your life is too big for an unprepared vessel. And now, the victory, ending the part that seals this entire prophetic activation. Heaven is about to publicly confirm what you privately carried. God is about to validate every season you thought was wasted. The tables are turning. The warfare is ending. The clarity is arriving. The favor is increasing. The opportunities are multiplying. The connections are aligning. The resources are flowing. The confusion is dissolving. The attacks are reversing. The doors are opening. The promises are manifesting. And every single person who underestimated you will witness what God does next, not for your ego, for His glory. Psalm 23:5 says He prepares a table in the presence of your enemies, not in their absence. Meaning your next season will not be silent, it will be visible. Those who lied about you will see the truth. Those who left you will see your elevation. Those who mocked your faith will see its fruit. Those who doubted your resilience will see your victory. And you, chosen one, you will walk into this season with humility, wisdom, strength, boldness, and spiritual maturity that only comes from surviving what should have destroyed you. Your identity is shifting. Your authority is increasing. Your discernment is sharpening. Your spirit is awakening. Your assignment is unlocking. And your destiny is unfolding. This is not motivation. This is not encouragement. This is divine confirmation that you are stepping into the most important chapter of your life. Type breakthrough if your spirit agrees, because heaven is watching for your alignment. Your breakthrough is not coming. It has begun. Where your old season has expired, but your new season has not fully announced itself. And because of that, You've been feeling emotions that contradict each other. Excitement without clarity, peace mixed with pressure, strength beneath exhaustion, hope wrapped in uncertainty. And heaven says these contradictions are not signs of instability. They are signs of transition, because every chosen one must walk through the corridor before stepping into the commission. And the corridor is where God removes the last traces of who you used to be. So there is no contamination when He releases who you are about to become. That strange tension in your soul, that inability to go back to who you were even though you haven't reached where you're going, that restlessness that wakes you up at night even when your body is tired, that sudden dissatisfaction with environments you used to tolerate, that unusual sensitivity to people's intentions, that unexplainable urge to separate yourself from noise, drama, and distractions. All of that is heaven reorganizing your inner world so your outer world can finally align with your assignment. Because here is the psychological truth most believers overlook. Transformation always happens internally before it manifests externally, and the enemy cannot stop what God is preparing to release. So instead, he tries to confuse you during the transition, so you will sabotage your own positioning. That's why you've been feeling spiritually stretched, mentally overloaded, emotionally raw, and socially detached, not because you're breaking down, but because God is rewiring your identity at the roots. And when God rewires a chosen one, He does not adjust, He reconstructs. He does not modify, He rebuilds. He does not repair, He resurrects. And this reconstruction is happening in your beliefs, your perceptions, your boundaries, your self-worth, your expectations, your habits, your thought patterns, and your spiritual reflexes. God is not just preparing a blessing for you. He is preparing you for the blessing, because heaven refuses to place extraordinary power in the hands of an unanchored identity. So if you've been questioning why you suddenly don't desire the same things, why you've outgrown certain conversations, why your tolerance for nonsense has dropped to zero, why you crave depth, purity, truth, silence, guidance, alignment, and authenticity, it's because heaven has flipped the switch, and your spirit is no longer aligned with who you were. It is aligned with who you are becoming. And now heaven says, chosen one, you are entering the season where everything in your life will begin to make sense. Not gradually, but rapidly. Because the confusion that surrounded your process was never because God was unclear. It was because the timing was incomplete. And now, the timing is maturing. The alignment is finalizing. The spiritual contracts attached to your next level are being signed in the unseen realm, and what you wrestled with for years is about to break open with ease. You will look back and realize that what felt like delay was actually calibration. What felt like silence was strategy. What felt like emptiness was cleansing. What felt like isolation was insulation, and what felt like abandonment was reassignment. And now heaven wants to expose something that the enemy tried desperately to keep hidden from you. The heaviness you've been feeling wasn't depression, it was spiritual labor pains. The pressure wasn't punishment, it was contraction. The loss wasn't rejection, it was relocation. The resistance wasn't warfare, it was realignment. Because heaven was not pushing you down, it was pushing you out of cycles that no longer matched your calling, out of spaces that couldn't hold your capacity, out of relationships that couldn't support your elevation, out of atmospheres that limited your growth, out of mindsets that lowered your power, out of behaviors that weakened your discernment, and out of versions of yourself that were too small for where God is taking you next. And now that heaven has completed the unseen restructuring, God is about to reveal the part of the process that has been hidden from your understanding. Why you had to be reduced before you could be raised. Because, chosen one, elevation without purification becomes corruption, and God refuses to elevate you into influence with residue that could sabotage your impact. So every hardship you walked through was heaven removing something that would have triggered your downfall later. That loneliness you hated, it refined your discernment. That financial struggle, it built your discipline. That heartbreak, it sharpened your wisdom. That betrayal, it purified your intuition. That failed opportunity, it strengthened your resilience. That season of waiting, it taught you endurance. And here is the part that will change your relationship with your past forever. What hurt you was part of heaven's curriculum. What drained you was part of heaven's preparation. What confused you was part of heaven's direction. And now heaven says, the curriculum is complete. The refining is finished. The preparation is sealed. The foundation is solid. And the vessel is ready. You are now stepping into the phase where God reveals not only the purpose behind your suffering, but the reward assigned to your faithfulness. Because there comes a moment in every chosen one's journey where heaven stops training and starts releasing, stops pruning and starts positioning, stops preparing and starts promoting, and chosen one, that moment, has entered your timeline. This is why the atmosphere around your life feels different, why your spirit feels alert, why your intuition feels awakened, why your dreams have become clearer, why your vision is sharpening, why your emotions are stabilizing, why your expectation feels alive again because your spirit knows something your mind is just beginning to catch up to. Heaven has declared the shift, and now God is orchestrating divine appointments, supernatural alignments, strategic opportunities, relational upgrades, spiritual reinforcement, and accelerated manifestation. And the timing will be so perfect that even you will say, only God could have done this. And chosen one, do not miss this next revelation. Heaven is not just opening a door for you, heaven is opening a realm. Because where God is taking you is not a season you visit, but a dimension you inhabit. A dimension of clarity, authority, maturity, peace, abundance, influence, and purpose. A dimension where you no longer chase what belongs to you finds you. Where you no longer beg. What is yours recognizes you. Where you no longer shrink, your identity expands. Where you no longer fear, your discernment leads you. Where you no longer settle, your standards protect you. Where you no longer tolerate, your purpose selects for you. And this dimension requires a version of you that is grounded, aligned, wise, seasoned, and spiritually awakened. And heaven says, that version of you is ready. Which means the next phase of your life is not revival, it is arrival. Not preparation, it is possession. Not hoping, it is receiving. And now hear heaven's final declaration, for the spiritual gates that were locked against you are opening. The resistance assigned to slow you is breaking. The cycles that repeated in your life are ending. The chains that wrapped around your destiny are dropping. The confusion that clouded your decisions is clearing. The emotional weight sitting on your chest is lifting. The invisible opposition suffocating your momentum is retreating. And the miracle that matches your obedience is being released. Heaven says, you are stepping into undeniable evidence. People will not need you to explain. Your transformation will speak for itself. This is your becoming, your unveiling, your confirmation, your activation, and your ascension. Chosen one marks the moment heaven stops preparing you and starts presenting you. And nothing, no force, no person, no delay, no enemy can stop what God has decided to do in your life now.